Okay guys, good morning. It's just after 11 o'clock here. We're back out in the shop. I don't know if you can see, but right here behind me I bought another one of those, that deformable LED light that I showed you guys the other day. I liked the one that I bought so much, I went ahead and bought another one and put it over here because I'm going to be building a door right here, which means I'm going to need pretty good light over here to see what I'm doing with cutting the wood and screwing it all together and that kind of stuff. And I wasn't really planning to put it on where I put it anyways, but that plan got changed due to some other stuff. But anyways, today we are going to be, at the very least, here this morning anyways, we are going to be putting up the header board here on the other underside of the rafters that I'm going to screw that door track to. You can see here I already put one piece here. This kind of screws up my measurements, but it was just to see if that was going to be feasible. I'm going to have 12 feet 1 inch is going to not that rafter but that rafter, and then from there that's a 47.5 inch piece, so I'm going to need another 8-ish feet going to that rafter. And then I'm going to put that door track on the bottom of those header boards. You can see I've got all my lumber stacked over there, some plywood over there to put on the face of the door. Those are 8-foot sections of roller track. This project has kind of been, it's a slow to launch project because Friday night I went up and bought lumber at Menards. Yesterday I went up and bought more lumber at Menards because I didn't buy enough the first time. This project has been in planning for about a week and a half. I haven't drawn up any plans, it's all up here, but the plan has changed about 5 times. But I've got a couple of new tools, and no, this project was not an excuse to buy new tools, it just worked out that way. I've got some new tools that I'm going to show you. One of them is the blue Lowe's special that I talk so angrily about and still buy. I mean, they're not bad tools, they're not. They're just, the warranty is non-existent. So anyways, I'm going to make some measurements, make sure I've got my measurements correct, and then I'm going to cut some boards and try and put them up by myself. This is either going to work out perfectly, or I'm going to be lying on the shop bleeding out. Lying on the shop floor bleeding out. Hopefully it's the first one, not the second one. But I'll get back to you once I've got everything set up and I'm ready to make my first cut. Now, this board is long enough to go up there where I want it. I don't know if I can do that myself. I don't know if I'm even going to try. But there is, just grab your tripod and all here, over here there's a board up here with those wires on it that to get to that rafter. Can you see that? Yeah. To get to that rafter I'm going to have to go around that board and those wires, which means now I have to measure back from that rafter to that board, and from this rafter to that board, and notch out to go around that board. So I'll spare you the boring measuring and marking the board for the cuts, and I'll just get back to you when I'm going to cut it. So stick around. Okay, so I know you can't see my face, and actually I'm not sure how much of this you can see at all, but the next tool I want to show you is this Bauer jigsaw from Harbor Freight. Now, these blades, that blade, did not come with this saw. That's the part I had to buy extra that I was telling you about. Now, I don't have a cord long enough to reach my outlet, so I'm going to have to use an extension cord, but what I've done here is I've marked out where I need to notch to go around that board and those wires, and I drilled a hole here, so that hopefully I drilled a big enough hole, and of course I didn't, but when I get to the point where I need to make this cross cut, then I've got, hopefully, maybe, enough room to stick the blade down in there and get started. Otherwise it's going to be a real pain. So I'm going to go ahead and make that cut now, and you guys can watch. And then hopefully so you can see from this angle it doesn't look that bad, but if I walk you around to the other side you can see that it's, well, it doesn't really show up on camera so well, but there from that angle you can tell that it's not perfectly straight, but it's got to go around there, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna see if I can hold it up there at least and see if it's gonna fit the way I want it to, if I'm gonna have to notch out some more. I think I'm gonna end up having to notch some more out, but once it's where it'll fit, I'll get back to you. Okay, so as you can see, I had to notch a little more out of it. I just cut a little half oval out of it, and now it will go around those wires just fine. But there's no way I'm going to be able to hold it up there and put the screws in to hold it up there by myself. I'm going to need at least one other person. So I think what I'll do is I'll come down here, measure the distance I need over there, cut that board, because that one's just a simple cut one end of it off to cut it to the right length and screw it up there. So I think what I'll do is I'll get it cut and ready to go up there, and once I'm ready to put it up there, I'll bring you guys back into the fray. Okay, you were spared watching me struggle to put that board up, mostly because I forgot to turn the camera on. But really the only struggle was down here. You can see there's a broken off screw in this hole, this hole, and that hole all have screws in them. That one was one that I used to hold it up there while I got screws in the center, and on the other end, you can see this end, there's no screw in this hole because it went out at a weird angle and kind of split the end of the board here, which you can't really see on video, but there's a screw there and a screw there, and that should hold it. Now, this door is going to be built out of pine, so it's not going to be incredibly heavy. You can see I've got 8 2x4s sitting here. Well, 9 if you count the 12 foot. I've got 8 footers and one 12 footer, and I've got another 12 foot 2x6. That's going to be my door frame, and then I'm going to put the plywood over it to cover it up, and the plywood's going to be facing out. You can